Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am doing a second take at this, and my dog is also apparently joining. So I recorded the first version of this video about 3 weeks ago, and I went to edit it, and I was like, I seem insane. I was unhinged and extremely angry. And I was like, over a TV show? Why am I so angry? This is not typical me. Now, it is very typical YouTube, that's for sure. You'll certainly find plenty of channels where people are having a tantrum and throwing their hands around and whatnot, but that's just fake. That's not what they're like in real life. Or if it is, they need some therapy and they need to take some medication probably, but that's not me. At least not about a TV show. Now, I can get pretty passionate about things that I do or don't like, but not to that degree. And I was just like, after I was reviewing it, I was like, was I playing this up for the camera? No, I don't think so, because that's not me, that's not my presentational style. But also it went on way too long, and it would have been very difficult to edit it down to what I would have felt was a reasonable time to expect anybody to care or pay attention. So I am determined this time to, 3 weeks has passed, so hopefully my anger has settled, and also I feel like I can be a little more pithy. I probably can get through my finer details a little better and less rambly. He says, after having spent a good 2 minutes rambling about why there's a second version of this video. So, let's get to it. This is obviously, as you can tell from the title or whatever, about Umbrella Academy Season 3 and the fact that I hated it. And hate is a strong word. And I'm not using it lightly. I mean, I don't know, perhaps strongly disliked is more apt, but I don't know. I really, I hated it. I just hated it. I'm so sorry. But, and now here is why. And by the way, another preamble. I recorded that video. I listened to a podcast. I really enjoy this particular podcast group called Post Show Recaps, which has this rotating cast of hosts. And I listened to a podcast done by these two hosts about the Umbrella Academy, and one of the hosts just kept trying to make allowances for some of the terrible writing. This all comes down to bad writing. They just kept trying to make allowances, like, well, they're going in a slightly goofier style, or I forget what her primary objection was, but it was just like, well, this character is now much more likable. But he's likable because he's now written to be an idiot. And he wasn't an idiot before, and he has suffered no major brain trauma. So anyways, their basic allowance for this is, well, it's a TV show, so, you know, it's fiction. And it's like, no. They set up rules in Season 1, and then they expanded those rules a little bit in Season 2, but it's still the basic same set of rules. They have to follow those rules in Season 3. You can't just completely reinvent a character just because you want to. You can't just suddenly, and it wasn't just one character, it was basically multiple characters were acting out in ways that were not consistent with their pre-established characteristics. So I'll just get straight to specifics. The character of Luther. He is now a complete and utter moron. He's a clown. He has nothing about him from the Luther of Season 1, where he was the glue, he was the sensible one, he was trying to keep the family together. Now he's just off in La La Land and makes terrible dad jokes that he didn't used to make. And it's not just dad jokes, it's just he doesn't understand basic things, and it's like, ha 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 ha, Luther's an idiot. And it's like, but he wasn't an idiot before. Now, he was never exactly the sharpest tool in the shed before, but he wasn't a complete and utter buffoon. And now he's just a buffoon. Now it's like, oh ha ha ha, he's this big, strong gorilla guy who just doesn't understand anything anymore. And it's just, that's not his character. He's now they're trying to use him for comedic relief, but he was never that character before, so he can't possibly be shoehorned into that without us realizing that's a different character. And now because 3 weeks has already passed and my memory is terrible. I can't remember her name whatsoever, but she's the character who does, her power is the I know a secret or whatever it is, whatever her spell is that she has to say before I heard a rumor. That's what it is. Now she's just angry and evil out of nowhere. And it's like the writers are trying to tell us, oh, well, because she's now existing in this reality where her daughter and her lover don't exist, now she's just evil. No, they're all experiencing that. Victor is now experiencing that. Victor is now living in a reality where the person that Victor loved doesn't exist anymore, but Victor's not suddenly evil. Why is... her name almost came to me, but I completely forgot it again. Why is she suddenly evil? That makes no sense. She does something that is borderline, and I don't want to get demonetized by YouTube, but it's an R word. She does something that is borderline that. It's just everything up to, and then the only reason why she doesn't follow through isn't because she has like some sort of like, oh no, this is a terrible thing I'm doing. It's just that she doesn't want to. So she just doesn't. So imagine you're watching some sort of scene where a guy is doing this to some lady or whatever, and then it's like he's just about to complete the job, if you know what I mean, and then he's like, well, you know what, I just don't really want to. Not because he has some sort of great moral conviction and he suddenly realizes it's wrong, but just he simply decides, our hearts don't suddenly go out to that ist. You know, we don't suddenly say, oh, what a nice guy, he stopped. No, he only stopped because he chose to. He decided in of himself he didn't want to, but he's still evil. His act was still evil, and they just treated her for the rest... I'm starting to get angry again. They just treated her for the rest of the show like... Even Luther, who's the person that she was doing this thing to, just treats her like, okay, well, but it didn't happen, so it's fine. And it's like, it did for all intents and purposes. It's just, why is she now evil? It doesn't make any sense. And then also, they're all morons when it comes to the concept of time travel into the past, thus overwrites the future. None of them understand the concept that, you know, whatever her name is, the I heard a rumor lady, she just doesn't understand that of course her daughter doesn't exist in this reality, because in this reality she had never been through her regular life. She never went to the Umbrella Academy. She never met that fellow after having been in the Umbrella Academy. She never had a daughter with him. Like, of course her daughter doesn't exist, but they all don't understand basic concepts of time travel. It's infuriating. Like, I don't expect them to all be Stephen Hawking's, but I do expect them to understand, like, well, if I never went to the Umbrella Academy, then I never met that guy unless I never had that girl. Why would you go to the house, how did she even get into the house? Break into the house and, like, try to wake up this sleeping girl, and it's just like, none of this makes any sense. I hated it. It was horrible, horrible, horrible writing. The first episode was okay. It was like, ooh, this is setting up some interesting premises. And I really, really liked how they dealt with Victor's transition. That was absolutely perfect. If we could have just ended after episode 1, I would have gone like, this is pretty decent. The rest of the writing. For every single episode, my partner and I were watching the show together, and we were just like, why are we watching this? These characters are not acting congruent to the ways that we have expected them to be for the first 2 seasons. The plot has a million holes that none of which are being addressed whatsoever. It's just everything, including down to the end. Like, this is going to turn into another 20-minute episode, and we're already at 9 minutes, and I feel like that's about the right time to stop. So I'm just going to say, I hated Umbrella Academy Season 3, which sucks because I was really looking forward to it so bad. And then probably the video before this one is the one where I talked about season 3 of Love Victor or something like that and how much I hated that. And again, because the writing was terrible. They just, for that, watch that video if you care to, but they just tried to shove too many reversals. And then, as by sheer accident, I don't think they realized this, they accidentally had every plot's reversal. If you're not familiar with the concept of a reversal in plot, I can go into it in a different video, but it's just the way all plots are structured. You expect A to happen, the character almost achieves A or does achieve A, but then there's a reversal that sets them back even further to negative F, and then they have to work their way back up to A and then beyond A. Anyways, the point is, yeah, I hated Love Victor Season 3. I didn't hate Love Victor. I don't know. I did. I hated Love Victor Season 3. I hated I hated Umbrella Academy Season 3. And now one of my other favorite shows, Season 3 and final season, is coming out. And I'm worried because it's like, is this the curse of Season 3? And that's Lock and Key Season 3. So please, it's just about out. In fact, maybe it comes out today. Please, please, please hope that they did not completely F that one up, because that will just devastate me. I love that show so much. And, you know, Connor Jessup isn't terrible to look at, so there's also that. But anyway, I really, really, really hope that that one turns the tide, because something's got to. And then hopefully Heartstopper Season 2 is good. And it will be, because Alice, the creator of the graphic novels, is writing those episodes herself, so she can't mess her own story up. She already has the framework from her graphic novels, which were good. So anyways, my point is, I hated Umbrella Academy Season 3, and I hope to God that there is no Season 4, or if there is a Season 4, that they take their time to run it past some other writers. I didn't bother checking. I'm usually obsessed with credits. I need to know who wrote this episode and who directed it and all these kinds of things. Is the showrunner still the same showrunner from the previous season? I didn't pay any attention to any of that for some reason for Umbrella Academy, so I don't know if it's a case of dramatically different showrunners. What I do notice, this has nothing to do with Umbrella Academy, is when I was looking at the credits for Love Victor Season 1 again recently, because I was showing the first episode to a friend of mine, I was like, oh, wait a minute, Sheila Lawrence, she has great credits from Gilmore Girls and things like that. And Brian Tannen, he's got great credits from Ugly Betty and things like that. So that was Love Victor Season 1, so that's probably why Season 1 was so great. I'm pretty sure I did not see their names in Love Victor Season 3, so where they went, I don't know, but it's clear that that's the problem with Love Victor Season 3, is they lost two of their best talents, I'm assuming. Now, after I finish recording this video, I'm going to Google and find out, oh no, they actually were involved in Season 3, so never mind. Who knows? You let me know down in the comments about a show that has nothing to do with the topic of this video. But anyways, that's this episode. I think it was a little more positive and a little less long, so let's keep it short and 13 minutes and say see ya for the next episode of this series of I Hate Season 3 of X. See you then. Bye, guys.